Midwest Mystery.
Number 1. Dana Jane Bruce. Dana was born on July 10, 1985. She grew up in Sedalia, Missouri, located between 30 and 45 miles south of the Missouri River. As a young girl, she bounced around between foster homes and a girls' home. Eventually, when she was older, she had 2 kids of her own, Dylan and Destiny. At 23 years old, she did her best to try and give her kids a better life. On October 4, 2008, Dana hired a babysitter to watch her 2 children while she went to a local nightclub called Malone's. It's unknown if she went there specifically to meet someone or just for a night out. There are conflicting reports on when Dana was last seen. Some reports say she was last seen at her house between 11:45 p.m. and midnight when she stopped by and gave the babysitter more money to watch the kids for the rest of the night. Another report states that Dana was last seen leaving the bar with a man at 11:30 p.m. They reportedly left in a red F-150. If Dana did in fact leave the bar with the man at 11:30, did that man drive her home so she could pay the babysitter to stay longer? It should also be noted that all of Dana's belongings were left behind when she disappeared. Police were able to identify the male, but they have not publicly named him. After Dana's disappearance, he went to Atlanta, Georgia. While he was in Atlanta, he was arrested on unrelated charges for marijuana possession and driving with a suspended license. While in custody, police questioned him in regards to Dana's disappearance. The man claimed that he did see Dana that night, but that they went their separate ways at the bar. Dana's family has stated that Dana was a devoted mother and that she would never willingly abandon her children. Dylan was 4 at the time of her disappearance, and Destiny was only 2. Sources have stated that they are now being raised by their grandmother. It's also been reported that Dylan, who is now a teenager, reads reports about his mother online, which is absolutely heartbreaking. At the time this video is being made, Dana would be almost 34. At the time of her disappearance, she was 5'2" and weighed only 98 pounds, with red and brown hair and hazel eyes. She had a tattoo on her upper left arm of a teddy bear with Dylan written on it. She also had a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. She was last seen wearing a black shirt with Rebel in silver lettering and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, please contact the authorities. Number 2. Heather Teague. Heather Teague was born on April 25, 1972. On August 26, 1995, she was just 23 years old when she disappeared off of a beach located in Newburgh in Henderson County, Kentucky. She had been enjoying the day sunbathing at the beach when a witness who was using a telescope to watch the beach from across the Ohio River allegedly saw a man approach her around 12:45 p.m. The man reportedly grabbed Heather by her hair and drug her into the woods at gunpoint. The witness describes the man as being around 6 foot tall, 210 to 230 pounds, with brown hair and a bushy brown beard. The man was seen wearing jeans, no shirt, possibly a wig, and a mosquito net. Heather has not been seen since. After her disappearance was reported, it was noted that authorities found part of Heather's bathing suit near the location the witness saw her abducted from. A local farmer who had been videotaping unrelated crop vandalism also captured video of Heather's car and a red Ford Bronco near it. After Heather's disappearance, a Henderson County resident, Marvin Ray Dill, also known as Marty, was pulled over for a routine traffic stop. He drove a red and white Ford Bronco, the same type of truck that was reportedly parked near Heather's car at the beach. In the truck, authorities found duct tape, rubber gloves, rope, a pair of knives, a pair of guns, and hair that resembled Heather's. There was also bloodstains on the inside of the tailgate. Dill's appearance was strikingly similar to that of the composite sketch made from the witness's testimony. Authorities received tips connecting Dill to Heather's disappearance and they began to look into them. Eventually, they made their way to Dill's house to question him in regards to the disappearance. When Dill saw the authorities on his property, he allegedly told his wife to leave. He then committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. Evidence was brought before a grand jury in regards to Dill's connection, but when brought to the stand, Dill's wife invoked her Fifth Amendment rights and refused to say anything. The second suspect in the case is another Henderson County resident named Christopher J. Below. Below left Kentucky shortly after Heather disappeared, around the same time that Dill committed suicide. He pled guilty to the involuntary manslaughter of Ohio native Catherine Fetzer. Her body has also never been found. Below is also suspected by many as being involved in the disappearances of Mary Cousteau, Shailene Marie Farrell, and Christina Porco. It should be noted that this is speculation, and Below has never been charged in relation to these cases. Police believe it's possible that Dill and Below worked together to abduct Heather. All of the evidence tying Below to the case is circumstantial. Years after her daughter's disappearance, Heather's mother Sarah filed a lawsuit against local, state, and federal authorities, claiming they bungled the investigation. This case was later dismissed. In 2016, a judge ordered Kentucky State Police to disclose records for the 911 call from the day Heather went missing. Sarah and her attorney claimed that the 911 call differed from the one they were allowed to listen to back in 2008. This has sparked some questions of a possible cover-up. At the time of her disappearance, Heather was 5'2", weighing between 90 and 100 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. She had scoliosis, fallen arches, and a circular red birthmark on her right buttocks. If you have any information regarding her disappearance, please contact the local authorities. Number 3. Emily Amada Quijano, and her son, number 4, Gabriel James Almiron. Emily was born on December 31st, 1991. Her family has said that she was a performer, loved to sing, and played several instruments. On April 21st, 2012, she gave birth to Gabriel James Almiron. Gabriel was described as a happy child who loved dinosaurs and took a blanket with him everywhere he went. The mother and son were last seen on September 8, 2015. At the time of their disappearance, Emily was 23 years old and Gabriel was just 3. They were reported missing by Emily's ex-husband when Emily missed their time for a child custody exchange. When questioned, Emily's boyfriend, Christopher Richard Polson, claimed that he and Emily had recently broken up due to him finding drug paraphernalia in their apartment. He also claimed that Emily took Gabriel and left in her 2009 Toyota Prius, deciding to move to California. Authorities couldn't find any evidence of Emily moving anywhere else in the country. Her Prius was later found in a parking lot in St. George, Utah, containing bags of her belongings and Gabriel's car seat. The keys were still in the car, and it was announced that the only fingerprints on the bags in Emily's car were Polson's. Other things that led authorities to believe Emily didn't voluntarily leave was that she had recently paid $13,000 to the Utah School of Massage Therapy in tuition. She was also about to graduate. There hasn't been any activity on her credit cards, bank account, or cell phone since September 8th. In October of 2017, Polson was charged with aggravated murder of both Emily and Gabriel. It was found that after their disappearance, Polson purchased a shovel, heavy work gloves, and sheets. Polson's roommate also noted that a hammer vanished from the apartment around the same time. Authorities believe he killed the mother and son, wrapped their bodies in sheets, and dumped them in a remote part of Utah. It should be noted that Polson sold his 2002 silver Ford Mustang days after Emily and Gabriel's disappearance. It was sold for less than it was worth. Even more damning, a cadaver dog detected the smell of human remains in the trunk of Polson's Mustang. When confronted with the evidence by police, Polson moved to Hawaii to try and escape scrutiny. Ultimately, he was extradited back to Utah. Although there is a suspect in custody, Emily and Gabriel have still not been found and thus are still considered missing persons. At the time of their disappearance, Emily was 23, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighed around 100 pounds. She was Hispanic, had black hair, brown eyes, and pierced ears. If she is still alive, there is a chance she may be using her ex-husband's name, Almiron. Gabriel was only 3 when he disappeared, standing at 2 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing only 30 pounds. He was Caucasian and Hispanic, with brown hair and green eyes. If you have any information regarding their disappearances, please contact the authorities. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I ask that you please be respectful of the victims and their families in the comments. The purpose of this channel is to try and bring awareness to unsolved cases. My sources are linked in the description, and if you have any additional information, please leave a comment. I did my best to find accurate information, but I am only one human. Stay safe, friends.